You ever wake up in the morning and feel that weight on your chest? That pressure, like the world's already one step ahead and you're stuck in the mud, wondering how the hell you're going to get through the day. You ever feel that punch in the gut silence when you fail again and everyone else just keeps moving? Good. You owed. Because that moment right there, that's where the fight begins. People ask me all the time, why do we fall? Like it's some deep mystery. You fall because life doesn't care. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care if you're hurting. Life will punch you in the mouth with no warning. Again and again. And it's going to keep swinging until you decide to swing back. But here's the catch. It's not about how many punches you can avoid. It's about how many you can take and still move forward, still stand up, still walk through the fire. Falling is the entrance fee to greatness. You don't fall because you're weak. You fall because you dared to climb. Because you put yourself in the arena while everyone else was watching from the damn sidelines. And every time you hit that ground, that's proof that you're alive, that you're trying, that you're becoming. But too many people, hell, almost everyone lets the fall define them. Oh, I failed once, so maybe it's not for me. And they go, screw that. That's the lie your comfort zone whispers to you when it sees you trying to escape. That's your fear negotiating with your potential. You think greatness comes wrapped in success. No, greatness is born in pain, in silence, in the lonely nights when nobody sees the grind but you. When the voices in your head scream, quit, and you scream louder, no tutor why. When I was broken, mentally, physically, spiritually, flat on the ground with nothing left, you know what I realized? The fall is the test. It's life asking, do you really want this? Or were you just pretending? You can't fake resilience. You either build it or you break. Every time you fall, you have a choice. Stay down or wrath of blood in your mouth and fire in your soul. Every scar, that's your armor. Every failure, that's fuel. You get up because the fall didn't kill you. You get up because the story ain't over. You get up because deep down you can't know this pain, this struggle, this moment is the price of becoming someone no one thought you could be. So next time you fall, smile, because now you know the truth. You fall to rise, you fall to become. You fall because that's the only damn way to fail. Why? You fall because you showed up, because you didn't sit on the couch watching life pass by. You actually had the guts to step in the damn arena. You looked at the mountain and said, let's go. You knew it would hurt. You knew you might fail, but you went anyway. That's why you fell. Not because you're weak, but because you're doing the hard shit most people avoid their whole damn lives. You think winners never fall. You think the strongest people on earth just cruise through life without getting knocked on their ass. Hell no, they fell more times than anyone else. The difference, they kept getting back up. Falling doesn't mean you lost. It means you're in the game. The only people who never fall are the ones too scared to try, too scared to commit, too scared to face themselves. So next time you fall, don't you dare feel shame. That fall is proof it's your receipt. It says, I gave a damn. I put my soul into this. That's what warriors do. That's what grinders do. They fall and then they rise harder. Pain, listen to me, pain is the damn price you pay for greatness. Everybody wants to win, everybody wants to rise, but nobody wants to hurt. You think growth happens when you're smiling, when everything feels good. No, it happens when you're dragging yourself through hell and refusing to stop. It happens in the moments when your body says, I'm done. And your mind says, keep fucking going. That's where growth lives. Not in ease, but in the grind, in the suffering. Every time you fall and feel that pain shooting through your chest, good. That's the signal. That's the fire that's burning away who you were and making space for who you could be. You don't run from pain, you embrace it. You grab that pain by the throat and say, teach me something. That's how warriors are made, not by avoiding the fall, but by earning the rise through every ounce of pain they're willing to endure. You want to be better, then pay the price. Cry a little, suffer a lot, because pain is the currency of growth, and the more you pay, the more you become. People love to talk about talent. Oh, he's just naturally strong, or she's built different. That's bullshit. You know what separates the elite from the average? It's not genetics. It's not some gift. It's the hell they're willing to walk through. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build in the dark, brick by brick, when nobody's watching and everything and you wants to quit. You don't wake up one day with a steel mind. You earn that shot. You ER it through failure, through rejection, through every fall that leaves you breathless on the floor. And you earn it every damn time you decide to stand back up. That decision, that moment, that's where resilience is forged. Not when it's easy, not when it's fun. But when you're exhausted, broken, questioning everything, and you still refuse to stay down, you want to be unbreakable. Then break a few times, get torn apart, and rebuild yourself stronger. That's the formula. That's the truth. You don't find your limits, you create them. Every fall, every setback, every sleepless night is a rep. And every rep makes you harder to kill. That fall you just took, that moment when everything came crashing down, when your knees hit the ground and the voices started screaming in your head, that's the fucking test. That's life looking you dead in the eyes and saying, you said you wanted it. Let's see how bad. Everybody talks when it's easy. Everybody posts their wins, their highlight reels, their success stories. But when you fall, when it all goes sideways, who the hell are you then? That's the real question. Because in that moment, you're still filters. No hype. Just you and the truth. Do you quit? Do you make excuses, or do you lock in and go again, even if it breaks you? The fall doesn't just test your body, it tests your soul. It asks, are you faking this or are you about it? See, most people fail the test not because they're weak, but because they weren't ready to suffer. They wanted the outcome, not the process. They didn't realize the process is the point. Falling is the gate you've got to walk through to earn anything real. You want strength. Fall first, you want discipline. Get knocked down and crawl through it. That's where the work is. That's where the test lies. And you don't pass it once. You pass it every damn day you refuse to stay down. Comfort is a fucking liar. It whispers in your ear, tells you you've done enough, tells you it's okay to ease up, to rest, to stay safe. That voice, that's the enemy. That's the part of you that wants to stay exactly where you are. Average, soft, forgettable. You don't fall when you live in comfort because you're not doing shit that's hard enough to knock you down. You're coasting, you're surviving, not living. And let me tell you something, nobody ever grew in the comfort zone. Not one damn warrior was built there. You fall because you stepped outside that safe little bubble. You put yourself in situations that demanded more from you, more discipline, grit, more pain. And yeah, you stumbled, you hit the ground. But that's where the change begins. That's where you start shedding that soft version of yourself and start becoming something real. Staying comfortable is death with a smile on its face. It kills potential slowly without pain until one day you wake up and realize you've become someone you never wanted to be. You want more out of life. Then you've got to get uncomfortable every single day. Chase the hard, hunt the difficult, force yourself into positions where failure is possible, because that's how you know you're chasing growth. Fall on purpose if you have to. Push yourself so far that falling becomes normal, because every time you fall outside of comfort, you come back inside stronger, meaner, hungrier. You don't grow by doing what's easy. You grow by doing what damn near breaks you. Failure ain't the end. It's just a fucking moment, a snapshot in time. You fall, you fail. It doesn't mean it's over. That means you're in it. That means you're pushing, reaching, chasing something real. But most people, the second they hit failure, they roll over. They let that shut define them. They say, maybe I'm not cut out for this, and they quit. And that right there, that's the difference, not the failure. The quitting, you quitting is what makes it permanent. You want to know what failure really is? It's data, feedback. It's the universe saying, not yet, keep working. But your ego gets in the way. It wants everything now. It wants easy wins. And when it doesn't get that, it folds. But if you kill that ego, if you silence that voice telling you to walk away, you'll realize the fall was never the problem. Staying down is, you can fall 1,000 times, you can fail in front of the world. That shot doesn't matter. What matters is that you get back up every single time. What matters is that you refuse to let quitting be an option. Because every time you choose to rise after failure, you're building something inside that no one can take from you. You're turning wounds into weapons, pain into power, and failure into the foundation of a beast who does not back down. When you fall, you don't just hit the ground, you get exposed. The truth shows up real fast when you're flat on your face. All the weaknesses, all the lies you told yourself, all the shortcuts you took, they're right there in the open. And that's a gift. Because you can't fix shit you refuse to see. You think the fall is punishment. No. It's the lesson. It's the mirror. It's life saying, here's where you're soft. Here's where you're bullshitting yourself. But most people run from that. They don't want to see the flaws. They'd rather stay blind, blame others, play the victim's weak. That's coward shut. Real growth, real growth, real transformation starts when you have the guts to look at your broken parts and say, all right, now we rebuild. You want to become stronger? You've got to know what the hell is holding you back. The fall shines a light on that, and you don't learn this stuff from winning. You don't figure out who you really are when everything's going great. You learn it in the crash, in the silence, when the only voice left is the one in your head telling you to get back up. That's when the truth hits. That's when you either face it or stay the same. So welcome the fall. Let it expose you. Let it strip away the fake strength, and then use what's left to build something that can't be broken. Every scar you got, physical, mental, emotional, that's not weakness. That's a record. That's F-Pecking badge of honor. It says you went through something that tried to break you and you survived it. People out here trying to hide their pain, cover up their failures, act like they've always been strong. That's fake. Real strength comes from the struggle. Real toughness is built from those scars. Everything has to be in them. When I look at someone who's been through hell and kept going, I don't see damage, I see proof. I see someone who didn't fold. You want to know who's dangerous? It's not the guy who's never failed. It's the one who's been through the fire, who's bled, who's lost, and still shows up ready to fight. That's someone who's earned their grit. Someone who's got scars that tell a story of survival. You don't get those marks by living soft. You earn them in the trenches, when you fall, when you fail, when everything's stacked against you and you still say, I'm not done. That pain you felt in that moment, that's now part of you. It built you. And every time you look in the mirror and see those scars, physical or not, You should remember that's who you are. You're still here. You're still standing. And that makes you dangerous. Every time you hit the ground, every time you think you've been broken beyond repair, that's the moment before the comeback. And let me tell you something real clear. The comeback is AOWI, stronger than the fall. Because when you rise, you don't come back the same, you come back different. Harder, sharper, more focused. Every fall forces you to rebuild, and that rebuilding, it's not just putting the pieces back together. It's reforging yourself into something no one saw coming. You know what happens when you fall and stay down? Nothing. But when you fall and get back up, something shifts. Your mind snaps into a different gear. You don't just want to survive anymore. You want to dominate. The pain you felt in the fall, it fuels a fire that burns hotter than before. The disappointment, it becomes a damn weapon in your hands. That's why the people who keep rising after every failure, they become unstoppable. So don't fear the fall. Don't fear the dirt and the blood and the struggle. Because each time you rise, you're writing a new chapter, one where the comeback is the headline and the fall is just the prologue. You don't come back weak. You come back stronger, meaner, hungrier. Every fall is just the setup for your next victory. You want to fly, then understand this. You don't rise without first falling. It's not a setback. It's the only damn way up. The sky doesn't open up for the weak or the timid. It only opens up for those who hit the ground hard enough to taste dirt, who felt the sting of failure so deep it wakes something savage inside them. Falling is part of the process. It's the crucible that melts away the fake parts of you and reveals what's real underneath. Every person who's ever soared to greatness has a trail of falls behind them. You think they just lucked into it. No, they fell, they hurt, they lost, and then they got back up again and again. Falling breaks you down so flying can build you back up. It tears you apart so you can piece yourself together stronger. That's the paradox of the struggle. The deeper the fall, the higher the rise. So stop fearing the fall, embrace it. Chase it. Get so comfortable with it that you're not afraid to fail. Because you know failure isn't the end. It's the fuel. You fall because you're alive. You fall because you're pushing. And you fall because you're getting ready to fly. And when you finally do take off, no one will be able to touch you.